Hi guys, welcome to Talk to Me Tuesday for Tuesday, May the 9th, 2017. This is Jennifer. Weather permitting, we're going to do an inside-outside video today. It's looking a little bit overcast, possibility of rain, but if things work out, we will move outside and I will show you Elena's quilt in just a little bit. That's my daughter's graduation quilt. Yesterday was Second Tuesday, paper piecing vintage number 9, so it was block 9 yesterday. And this was the first and only block during this particular event that I had a do-over because I just wasn't happy with the first version. So the block this week is called Beggar's Block. That is a classic vintage name for this block. And this is the first one I made, and it just didn't go with the rest of the blocks I was making. So I molded over for about a week, and then I just scrapped it and I did a new one. So this is the one that I'm actually going to use in my quilt. And if you can see, these are tiny little skulls and crossbones. This little hatched pattern here, I got this one on my field trip a few weeks ago. And I love this one so much more because you can really see the little pattern in it, and you can see the shapes of the blocks, which is what you couldn't in the other one. And of course I like to share the vintage one, so here is the original from Paper Piecing Vintage 2014 done in reproduction flower sacking fabric. I have a couple of really small things to share before we head outside. First of all, I did receive Vicky's swap, so thank you Vicky, it's wonderful. Vicky went all out and she sent not only a beautiful birthday card, but she sent these wonderful postcards that are for coloring. We've got the Anne Boleyn letters, and then she sent not one but two beautiful pieces of fabric and some really fun quilt labels. Thank you Vicky, I think that does actually complete my swap for Talk to Me Tuesday for my birthday. We have a big gap until the next birthday. There's not another Talk to Me Tuesday birthday until July, and then it's just like July to the rest of the year. We have birthday, birthday, birthday. So we had nothing until April, nothing, and then there's nothing till July. So everybody has a breather. You can spend the next couple months collecting your fat quarters if you haven't already, and then I will remind you when it's time to send the next one. Let's field trip outside so I can share the completed graduation quilt. We're standing outside so I can share with you the completed t-shirt quilt slash graduation quilt for my daughter. The name of this quilt is Stuff Elena Has Done. That's what she told me the theme of all these shirts was. I am not going to go shirt by shirt and tell you what's going on here, but she's got camp and study abroad and vacation and high school and college and donating blood and going to Paris, and just all kinds of stuff is in this quilt, and it's all memories for her. So I used a Michael Miller fabric for the sashing. It is a black with rainbow dots, just all different colored dots on it. The back is the fox fabric that I showed you last week, and I will share with you again in just a minute. You'll see a little bit more of that on the pillowcase I made for her. It is sashed in a tonal green sashing to kind of pull out the green. The green t-shirts are her university t-shirts, and I really wanted to just kind of pull that out from the quilt. I stepped way outside my comfort level for this one and did a big chunky geometric meander on it, and while it isn't absolute perfection, it does really look good with the t-shirts, and I'm very pleased with it. It's already been washed and I'm ready to put this on her bed. It's starting to rain on me, so I'm gonna go ahead and stop talking. I will do a short little bit right after this so you can see the quilting a little bit closer, and then we're gonna go back inside. So I'm pleased to have that done. She graduates Friday, we move her home Saturday, and I will have this quilt on her bed when she gets home so that it's there for her to see. She hasn't seen it yet. I did have a little bit of fabric left over, and I was able to create a pillowcase. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you saw this. I just got a wild hair, and I ended up Instagramming the entire tutorial for making a hot dog pillowcase. So this is the pillowcase that goes with her quilt, and I worked really hard to make sure to get these foxes so that they are all in a row. I did have to piece this a little bit because all I had left was from the back. And so there's a tiny little piece on this side. You've got foxes in a row all the way around otherwise. And then this is, of course, the sashing fabric, which I love. And because people have asked me a couple times, this is Michael Miller and this is Timeless Treasures. So both of these are current fabrics, so you can find these and you can buy them right now if you want to. Don't forget, Free Pattern Friday on Friday. Last week's free pattern was a freebie for the Linus Connection, and I do plan to continue during the month of May sharing freebies that I designed specifically to make charity quilts and blankets out of. You might be shocked to know that I used to design crochet patterns, so I'm going to be sharing some of those as well. Stop by Fandom and Stitches tomorrow for the Labyrinth Quilt and Stitch Along. We are nearing the end, and tomorrow, in addition to your next pattern for your quilt, you will also get your first set of instructions for piecing some of the sections of the quilt together. Last week we had sashing. Tomorrow we will have piecing some of those sections together. Also today on Fandom and Stitches, be sure and stop by for Tuesday photos, which will include not only the new prize for May, but also the design invitational instructions information for the Labyrinth Design Invitational. Once again, if you enjoy my content, please consider going by patreon.com/sewhooked. Come on Patreon, patron, help me keep bringing free information, free patterns, free everything to you. I do have a lot of paid patterns that I would love to eventually turn into free patterns, and those are my goals on Patreon. The last time I checked, we were $7 away from making the first pattern free that is currently a paid pattern. And I've been thinking about it, and I would really like to do some live streaming this summer. I've talked to my son about it. I've got some feedback from him. He does a lot of live streaming, so I figured I would talk to someone who knows a little bit more about it. He suggested to me that I ask you guys, would you rather just listen to me talk, where I'm just talking and sewing, or would you like something interactive where I'm talking to you and we are literally having a Talk to Me Tuesday where I can talk to you and we can do like picture in picture and you can talk back to me, we can do questions and conversations and whatever. I don't know how to do any of this yet, but he has promised to help me, so I just want to know your feedback on what of those things would be more useful to you. What would you be more entertained by, just me sewing and chatting or us actually having a conversation? That's it. I will talk to you guys next week when I have a graduated University of North Texas alumni.